What is up, YouTube and my fellow Unscapians? It's your favorite kind of pie here, and I am going to be making my first tutorial video that will be posted on the forums. So let's get into it. Alright, so first things first, stats. Stats are very important for Barrows because they determine how fast you kill the monsters and how fast you get chests. You want to try for as many chest loots in a certain amount of time as you can. You want to get the chests as fast as you can to get maximum loot and maximum profit. So these are my stats right now currently. I would recommend 75 to 80 of every stat of defense, strength, and attack. Obviously the attack isn't as important, and you may not need 75 defense as long as you have 43 prayer for protect from melee. That's another thing. 43 prayer is definitely 100% required for doing Barrows unless you want to get absolutely raped and hit in the 50s by Dayrocks, or however you say it. Okay, the next step to Barrows is your gear, the gear you will be wearing. So I'm going to show you what gear I use. You can use any gear you want. I do recommend like at least a dragon weapon, preferably a abyssal whip or armadillo godsword, or whatever you want to use. I'll be using a godsword for this video. Okay, so this is the gear that I use for Barrows. Pretty standard basic gear, only it gives a great bonus. Most people use dragon gloves. I just am too lazy to go buy some dragon gloves, to be honest, and berserker ring is preferable, but I haven't bought a berserker ring yet. I haven't tracked one down to buy, so if any of you guys are selling a berserker ring, I will buy it off of you. And alright, for my helmet I use helmet of Neatisnot. I don't know how to say that. Amulet of Fury for the necklace. Fire cape. I do recommend getting a fire cape. If you don't know where to get a fire cape, you can go over to what's it called? Tizhar Caves, and you can go to the Jad entrance and get a fire cape for free. You don't have to fight Jad. Fighter torso for my plate body because of the bonus it gives, and DH legs, dragon legs work fine. I use an armadillo godsword, but you can use a whip and a dragon fire shield, which is preferable, but obviously you don't even need a shield because you'll be praying and not taking any damage. Like I said, dragon gloves or Barrows gloves will be preferable for your gloves, and dragon boots would be better, but a lot of us don't have 25-30 mil to spend on dragon boots, so I just use ruin boots. No, that's not just for this video. I usually just use ruin boots anyway because I don't think that the bonus dragon boots gives you is worth 30 mil. So on to the next step. Alright, one thing I forgot to mention earlier. Obviously this guide is, you really don't need this guide if you've been doing Barrows before. It's not going to help you at all. It's going to be pretty boring for you to watch. It's just going to be me rambling on. This guide is designed for the newer players or any players that do not know how to do Barrows and would like to get the money Barrows makes. So our next step is what you are going to be actually taking in your inventory. Now this is what I take. It's totally up to you, and it's probably going to depend on your stats how much food you take, because Varak does hit through prayer, so you can expect to get hit through prayer. That's why I bring a little bit of food. This will last me for 2, sometimes 3 runs, depending on, I guess, how much I pray, how fast I find the chest, and how much Varak hits me. You do need a shovel, a spade, I guess. You can get it from the guy at Barrows. He'll be waiting. You just talk to him and ask for a spade. And I recommend for some of the newer players to take Law Runes so you can teleport out during combat rather than just sit there and get killed. I use a DDS to special, and I use strength and attack potions so that I'll hit hard and often. Alright, I think that's it for what you need to take, and now we move on to phase 2, which is starting Barrows. Okay, that's how you get there, by the way. You just click on the Barrows teleport, and this is the guy you can talk to get a spade. Now you'll notice when you get here that there's these mounds, and these mounds are set in a pattern for 1 mound for each of the Barrows brothers. This one is Varak. This next one is Torag. This one is Arim's. And this one is Caril's, this one is Guthin's, and this one is Dayrox. And be really careful so your prayer doesn't drop on Dayrox. He will kill you fast. No matter what your HP level is, you can't sit there and just fight. You can't, just don't drop your prayer, that's the point. Alright, so obviously since they're different Barrows brothers, they're going to be hitting different types of combat. So it's going to depend on what you pray is going to depend on what type of combat the Barrows brother is using. So this is Varak, so obviously he's going to be melee, and I do recommend you memorize this. So I'll explain it as I go through so we don't run out of time. So what I do is I get on top of the mound, I pot up, drink both potions, pray melee, and dig. All you do is click on your spade, then you click on the sarcophagus. And you may get this message, it's random every time you do Barrows Brothers, and it just says you found a hidden tunnel, which will be where you find the chest, obviously. So there's nothing there, so we move on to the next. I do recommend going this pattern, get into a pattern so you memorize where they are until you're sure. Now we move on to Torags, pray melee, because Torags is melee. And you need to memorize, like I said, the layout of this so that you know which one's which and which to pray. So anyways, you just click on the sarcophagus and you kill the Barrows brother. Do remember that while you're in here your prayer is drained extra fast, so make sure your prayer doesn't drop. And I'll pause it while I'm killing them just for the sake of time. Once you've killed each of the Barrows brothers, you just click the stairs to walk out and move on to the next mound. You want to do this as fast as you can for maximum loot and maximum profit. So this is going to be range, which is Caril's. So you're going to dig down, click on the sarcophagus, he'll come out and fight you, and I'll unpause it when he's dead. Alright, next mound. You're going to run directly north to this middle mound, which is Arim's, which is magic. Pray magic, dig. As you can see, it's pretty repetitive, and you just do this over and over again. Onward to the next mound, which is Guthin's, and he is obviously melee. So you pray melee and dig a hole. And we're going to fight him. Alright, and we move on to our last Barrows brother before we enter the crypt to fight Varak. And this is Dayrox. I don't even know if I'm saying that right, but anyways, you just, same as ever, just make sure your prayer doesn't drop. Once you have visited each mound and killed every Barrows brother except for the crypt mound, you want to move back to the mound where your crypt was, and you want to enter it. Yes. Or your tunnel, whatever. I pray melee throughout here because sometimes these do get a lucky hit on you. Now, I don't know if I'm mistaken, but I've found that when the door doesn't have an open option, it means the chest is somewhere is accessible through that door. So you want to get inside of there, and it's basically just a big maze. And once you're at these tunnels, it means you're on the outside edges of the maze. So you want to just find your way into the tunnel room, into the chest room, my bad. And I usually get my DDS out here, put on a special, and drink a strength potion again, so that when he does appear, like now he appeared and he hit a 16 on me, I can just automatically hit my specials and be back to my AGS fast. So you just want to special him down, switch weapons, and kill him as quick as possible. Make sure to watch your health on Varak, because he does hit through prayer. And watch your prayer, obviously. Make sure your prayer doesn't drop to 0. That's never good. I've had that happen a couple times when I first started doing this, and it comboed me out. Alright, and you can take your prayer off. I usually don't, because prayer potions aren't that expensive, and yeah, it's not gonna kill you to use some prayer potions just to keep your melee up. It's worth saving those hit points so you can do the maximum amount of chests with one inventory. Alright, once you enter the chest room, you just want to click on the chest, open, and then you click on it once more to get your loot. And I got an Arim skirt, which is not bad actually. So normally I would do another run because I have enough potions and food left, obviously. And I can do 2 to 3 runs per inventory. That's actually going to depend on what your stats are, and yeah, just what your stats are, basically, what gear you're wearing. Alright, well, I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope that I helped someone. Maybe if I helped one person, that would make it worth it. My next guide will probably be a King Black Dragon guide, and then a Dagannoth Kings guide. And this weekend, me and Adam, the Fallen, will be hopefully making a Dagannoth King video where we're just going to do Dagannoth Kings, I guess. So I think a new video category I'm going to do is kind of like Ruin Shark if you watch them, where they just show the Barrows chests. I think I'll be doing that to show my loots, and I'll just make a video about 10 minutes long with a bunch of mashed together chest loots. So look forward to that, and hope you enjoyed. See you next time.